It's Tuesday, guys. 4 games on today, and since there's only 4 games, I'm gonna give you guys my picks for every single one. Before we get to those plays, a quick recap from yesterday: 0-2-1. Not a good night at all. The only positive, guys, is the small bet size is keeping me afloat because these last few days have not really been too good to me, and this is much expected, and this is the reason why I'm betting very small, guys. Everything is still up in the air. We don't know what each team is about. So treading lightly still. But nevertheless, guys, a bad night. Dropped the total play with Milwaukee, and Boston had the over there. They had a couple of 2-3 minute droughts during the game, which pretty much I think did the total in. And had Memphis with the -5.5. They got up 20, but just got absolutely ran in the second half. It seems like it's been happening quite a bit, guys, in this first week of the season. A lot of teams getting big leads and not being able to hold them. Unfortunately, guys, we had Memphis. That didn't come through, and we pushed the play with Phoenix. Had Phoenix with the -4. They ended up winning by 4. At least we didn't go 0 for 3. Saved a little bit of money last night. Anyways, guys, like I said, 4 games on today. I kind of like today's plays. Let's see what's gonna happen, guys. Let's see if we can make some money this Tuesday. Let's go. All right, up first we got Denver in Brooklyn taking on the Nets. The Nuggets are 5.5-point road favorites. 218 is the total. Denver finally got on the board, guys. 2-point win last night in Toronto. Overtime. They played like trash once again. They should be 0-3 on the year, guys. They did not deserve last night's win, but they did get it. The desperation, guys, the sense of desperation was there at the end. They got fortunate. Picked up a 2-point win, avoided the 0-3 start. The NBA champs from a few seasons ago, guys, playing like garbage to start this year. Make things worse, second night of back-to-back, travel, starters logged in a ton of minutes. Doesn't look like the best spots for Denver. Brooklyn coming off a big win at home against Milwaukee. Milwaukee, guys, has been the punching bag of the league to start their first week of the NBA season. Brooklyn took advantage of Milwaukee's terrible play, got on the board. But, guys, don't be fooled. Brooklyn, when it's all said and done, they're going to be at the bottom of the East, guys, along with the Washington Wizards. I think Brooklyn is one of the worst teams in the league. We're going to see that going forward. The total, 218. Usually, guys, in spots like this, I don't know the exact stats, but I know some of the times, most of the times, these games do tend to be high scoring. I'm going to stay away from a total play here, but what I am going to do, guys, I'm going to take a risk here. With Denver, I'm going to take the -5.5, even though I know it's a tough spot. I'm just not a fan of the Brooklyn Nets. Even in their win the other day against Milwaukee, I think it's just mostly Milwaukee's poor play. I'm going to take Denver here, guys, -5.5, my first pick of the night. All right, up next, we got the big one. Last year's Western Conference Finals, a rematch, Dallas and Minnesota. Minnesota's a 5-point home favorite, 222.5 is the total. Dallas, second night of a back-to-back. They were in action yesterday against Utah. Not much to really talk about there, guys. A game that they pretty much just went through the motions and wanted to get it out of the way. A look-ahead game to tonight. It is still a second night of back-to-back, but, guys, the season just started. The players are still pretty fresh. No new injuries for them, so they should be at full strength. Minnesota, guys, revenge on their mind. Definitely revenge will be on their mind. And do have the extra day off with no travel. They should be a little fresher out of the two teams with a lot of motivation here. But, guys, man, I don't know. Dallas does seem to have Minnesota's number. So even though it is a second night back-to-back, I think this number, the 5 points, is a little high. I'm going to take a shot here with Dallas, guys, plus the points. I wouldn't even be surprised if they just won this game straight up. Minnesota, guys, like I've talked about, they still need some time to get their chemistry going with Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo in the lineup without Karl-Anthony Towns. They haven't really looked that great so far in their first 3 games of the year, even though they are 2-1. Positive record so far. I'm going to take the Mavs here, guys, plus the points, second pick of the night. All right, up next, we got Sacramento in Salt Lake City taking on Utah. The Kings are 6-point road favorites, 235.5 is the total. Sacramento, guys, finally got on the board after dropping their first 2 games of the year. 13-point comfortable win at home against Portland. They played their run and gun. Their patented run and gun basketball, guys, was working, and they won their first game of the season pretty comfortably. Looked pretty sharp, guys. Sacramento, Utah. Like I talked about earlier, they were in Dallas. This is going to be a second night of back-to-back for both teams. Utah wasn't Dallas. They dropped that game by 8. The bad news for Utah, though, guys, was Taylor Hendricks, the young promising player, just shattered his ankle. Reports are he's going to be out for the season. He was starting for Utah, guys, one of the players that they were looking to build around. Bad news for that young player. Now Utah is going to have to find someone else to step in, take his spot. I don't think it's going to be very easy. Now, guys, Sacramento does have the advantage here, guys. And even last year, if you look at the head-to-head, Sacramento won all 3 games, and they blew out Utah in all 3 by 16, by 21, and by 21. So the matchup seems to be very favorable for Sacramento here. Second night of back-to-back for both teams with travel. I'm going to take Sacramento here, guys, with the -6. The number does look a little high, but I think they could run away with this game. Sacramento, guys, is a team usually that is pretty trendy. When they're winning, they usually go on streaks. When they lose, they don't play well. Yesterday was a pretty good indicator that looks like they could be on a bit of an uptrend for these next few games. I'm going to take Sacramento here with the -6, my play in this game. All right, final game of the night. We got the Pelicans, 3-point road favorites against the Warriors. 218 is the total. New Orleans 2-1 on the year. Got blown out in their last one, guys, against Portland, 125-103. They had a couple of games in Portland, little mini series. They split. They won the first one barely. Did not look sharp in either of the 2 games, guys. But in the second one, they got blown out. New Orleans, guys. If I were to say, even though they are 2-1, I'd say they're downtrending a bit. Their play hasn't been that great. Plus, DeJounte Murray broke his hand. He's going to be out for a while. I'm really high on DeJounte Murray. I think when he gets back, the Pelicans are going to be one of the tougher teams in the league. I do expect them to make the playoffs if they stay healthy, that is. Tonight, they will have an advantage, though, guys, against Golden State. Golden State missing 3 players. And, of course, the big one, Steph Curry, sprained his ankle. He's going to be out, it says, for a few games, 2-3 games. Joining him, Andrew Wiggins and D'Anthony Melton. So they're going to be extremely short-handed here. Warriors also 2-1 to start the year. 2 big blowout wins in their first 2, and then lost the last one to the Clippers by 8 at home. Guys, usually in these spots, even though New Orleans on paper does have the advantage, when teams miss their star players, the other players do tend to play a little harder, put in maximum effort. So in this spot, guys, I'm going to look to take the Warriors here with the plus points, even though Steph is out. This is one of the spots that I usually like to play in one of my strategies. When star players out, take the team missing the star player. In this case, it's Golden State. +3, my play in this game. So quick recap, guys. 4 plays. Got a couple of favorites, couple of dogs. Got the Nuggets with the -5.5. Sacramento -6. Dallas +5. Golden State +3. Now, the chances are, guys, I will not be betting on all 4 of these games. And the games that I do bet, I can tell you from now, they're still going to be quarter-sized, very small bets, guys, until I get that data that I'm looking for. Still a few days away, maybe another week or so until I really get my season started. Fortunately, guys, the bet size have been small because the last couple of days have not been going too well. So the damage has been minimal in the wallet, which is really, really good. Going through a cold streak and not losing a lot of money, not bleeding money, is always a good sign. So when the win streak comes around, guys, get paid nicely. Anyways, guys, I don't think I have much more to add here for the games. Pretty straightforward. What I'm going to do, guys, what I tell you guys in every single video, remember to always bet responsibly. The best advice that I can give you, bet responsibly. And at the end of the day, guys, always go with your gut. Follow your instincts. Bet the games that you like. Don't follow anybody blindly. When you win, it's always a lot sweeter. When you lose, you don't have anybody to blame but yourself. As harsh as that may sound, guys, that is reality in this game that we're involved in, sports betting. That's just the way things goes. It's very emotional. It's very emotional. You have to learn how to control your emotions. But above all, you have to take responsibility for your actions. Be able to control the winners, control the losers, and be very disciplined. Your bet size, everything. Can't stress that enough. Anyways, with all that being said, guys, I am going to wrap up the video right here. Wish you all good luck on your plays, and I'll check you all again tomorrow. Have a good one. Later.